Hello everybody, this is Soniv.
And this is WaveofShadow. We are bringing you the grand finals of the AHGL B-League series here between SecurityMetrics and Qualcomm.
Yeah, and I'm excited for this. We have not seen any B-League teams yet. We've been casting A-League all season, so now we get to jump down, see all these fine players playing against each other for the finals. This will be awesome.
Yeah, and the B-League was a lot bigger than A-League.
Was it?
There was a lot more, yeah, I don't remember how 20-something teams, I think.
Wow.
I think it was something like that. Anyway, there's a lot of teams going on, so there's a lot more, I suppose, competition going on in between them. So just a little bit about the teams. I just did a tiny amount of research because, again, don't know much about what's been going on in the B-League. But SecurityMetrics, I believe, is coming into this with a perfect season record of 13-0.
That's fairly impressive. I mean,
Yep.
especially with that many teams, you're going to be facing a whole bunch of different different skill levels. And
I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, well, I mean, SecurityMetrics 13-0, they're going to be really good. But, you know, they may not have all played, you know, I guess if there's only been 13 games, they may not have played every single team.
That's true.
So that's interesting to think about, too. And Qualcomm, I believe, is 8-5 in the regular season.
All right.
But both have made it to the finals, so...
Yeah, so obviously they got something going for them.
Yep. Okay, so here are the bands. We got Aurelia, Leona, and Riven for SecurityMetrics, and Lux, Zinjo, and Thresh. Thresh, oh my god.
Thresh, yes. Thresh, not surprising at all. He is by far and away. I mean, we've seen in LCS, he is first pick or ban status. He's just so far up there in skill, or in just straight utility.
Yeah, and first pick Kale, and still pretty darn strong. So I'm not exactly surprised about that. I guess you said Addy Andros is mid, so. Is that what we think we're going to see here?
That's possible. That's just what I'm going off of, based off what I was looking in just briefly in their match histories. But anything could happen. I'm not actually sure what these players play. So I mean, we could see Kale really does fit almost anywhere. She can fit at least. So yeah, I mean, and it could be trading because this is in client too. So we're not doing the picks and bans in chat as we normally do. So we may see some trading going on as well.
Yep, definitely so. And just having a look at the other bands, definitely not what you'd call common bands. So I'm wondering, Aurelia and Riven as generally top-played champions. I wonder if there's someone specifically that SecurityMetrics is looking to play top that Aurelia and Riven would do well against?
Well, I'm not sure about Aurelia, but Riven is very, very strong early on. Like first few levels, Riven is a huge bully, and she's a bully pretty much all lane phase, but it's really those first few levels that she shines. So maybe SecurityMetrics is looking for some sort of like mid-ish game top laner, but I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, I have been informed in chat. I guess there's some people who do know the B-League a little better than us. Someone said Point Blanket is a beast Riven.
Oh.
So that's a targeted ban, apparently.
Nice. Okay,
so
cool.
That does make a certain amount of sense. And, of course, on the other side, we see Lux ban. Lux is super strong. Zinjo, again, I don't know if those are targeted bans specifically, but Lux, Zinjo, and Thresh, all decent bans. You know what is actually really surprising me that I just was randomly thinking of before we get back to this?
What's that?
I was seeing a lot, like we're seeing like support bans here, Leona and Thresh.
Yeah.
Like Blitzcrank was a common ban for a little while, I think.
Yep.
Did you know that apparently in the NA/LCS, Blitzcrank has never been picked?
It's not that surprising, to be honest. Blitzcrank has always been a very, very strong solo queue pick, but he's also easy to outplay if you do it correctly. If he misses his hook, you just go full pressure on him, and it sort of negates all of his strengths. As well, he's not as good as many of the other supports in 1v2 lanes, which are obviously very, very popular at higher levels of play.
I think there was a discussion recently on Team Liquid. Thresh has pretty much replaced Blitzcrank in almost every way just because not only can he initiate, but he can also disengage extremely well, which Blitzcrank cannot do. So.
Yeah, and he can pull someone from like 5 screens away, so...
Yep. Anyway, getting back to picks and bans. Kog'Maw, Shen, Jace, and one more coming up for SecurityMetrics. Well, on the other side we see Orianna, Tristana for Qualcomm.
I really like Orianna Jarvan. That's definitely a very, very nice combination, along with the Sona pick. That's going to be a lot of AoE lockdown if they do it correctly.
I was going to say that'd be very, very similar to that game we saw, the Google versus EA game. When all we would need to see is a Malphite top lane, and that's they're pretty much set. So
it looks like SecurityMetrics is going for a bit of a protect the Kog'Maw comp. They've got the Shen ultimate, they've got the Kale ultimate, they've got Black Shield from Morgana, so they're really going to be looking to protect Kog'Maw pretty much until late game, and then Kog'Maw is just a ridiculous beast. So
Yeah.
it looks like that's the comp they're going for. They're supplementing the poke that Kog'Maw has with Jace. I mean, Jace is still just a very strong champion in general, so good pick there.
Yeah, this is, I mean, sort of, it looks almost like a motley crew of picks, but, I mean, there's some synergy going on here. They've got the disengage they need from Jace.
Yep.
They've got the poke they need from Morgana, Jace, and Kog'Maw. They've got the protect, you know, they need for Kog'Maw. So this is, I mean, in general, it's sort of a, it seems like an odd mishmash of picks, but I definitely think this works. And it seems as though, I mean, I was told before the game that SecurityMetrics has specific team comps sort of picked out. You know, they've been practicing together for a long time, and they have team comps that work really well for them, and this may very well be one of them.
Yeah, it's always like good seeing those teams that work together. They know the comps that they like to work with. I mean, when I used to play with a team, we always liked to run a poke comp because that's what we were comfortable with. Like we practiced it a lot.
And because you played Victor.
And because I played Victor, but but no, it's just, I mean, teams who have practiced and have their specific comps and are comfortable with that can do very, very well if they stick to what they know. But then it's always difficult if they get something they're not quite used to and they can't adapt quick enough, then it sort of breaks down a little bit. We'll have to see how Qualcomm does. I do like their AoE composition. The Elise doesn't quite fit in there, but I mean, Elise, again, a lane bully. She's, I mean, just very strong early on.
Long range stun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good in any comp, really.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, the Elise pick doesn't quite seem to fit out with what they were what they were sort of setting up for. But overall, I mean, Elise is a very, very strong pick. So.
Yeah, no, definitely no qualms about it at all. But yeah, as you were saying, a Malphite would have just been absolutely prime with that composition.
I still get chills thinking about those AoE combos in that game. Oh my goodness.
All right, and the game is loading up for them, so I can show everyone. Summoners! I won't ruin it again this time.
All right, so we actually see something a little bit interesting going on bottom lane. Support Morgana.
I noticed, and I like it. I had a support Morgana to play with yesterday, and really liked it. Yeah. It is just a non-standard pick, but she's got a lot of tools. She's got Dark Binding is great. The Tormented Soil not as good. I mean, it's a pushing tool. But Black Shield is amazing, and her ultimate, I can't even remember what it's called now.
Soul Shackles?
Soul Shackles, yes. It's really good for just general protection, and that's what they're going for. They want to protect Kog'Maw. AHGL is going to be playing that Kog'Maw bottom, so I like it.
Interesting. I wonder, I mean, support Morgana always seemed to me like an inferior Lux in terms of support, because Lux really offers everything that Morgana does aside from the CC protection, but a little better and with better harass. Because Morgana's harass is very, very weak. And I wonder if the Lux ban really affected that. I wonder if that Morgana would have been a Lux if it weren't banned.
That's possible. And yeah, Lux is very bursty, very like Morgana's damage is more, yeah, even from a support side, is more drawn out. It's a bit more, it just takes a little longer, while Lux just can shoot it out and just kill people. I did receive some information from AHGL that Chops is loading on a hamster machine, so it might be a little bit of a loading screen.
All right, that's always good to know.
It's okay. We all play with those people who load on TI-84s.
People playing on wooden computers.
Right.
Yep, definitely get that. Seeing barrier from both Tristana and Kog'Maw, and that's I mean pretty standard. I'm a little surprised we don't see a cleanse from either, because I mean in terms of CC specifically, like Kog'Maw really might need that cleanse.
Yep. Because
Qualcomm does have a fair amount of CC in that, again, that long-range stun. They've got Crescendo to worry about. A little less surprised. I mean, Tristana does have a jump, so a little easier for her to get away.
But at the same time, I mean, there's the taunt from Zarni, the binding from Sir Spam. There's a lot that can lock down Bobo.
That's true.
So, I mean, I like cleanse on Tristana, but I mean, I guess the barrier is if his positioning is good enough, he may not need it necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, pretty standard summoners across the board. I was going to say, I guess there's only 20 seconds left. We could have looked at runes and whatnot, but
we talked a little bit
too late.
We are seeing the Kale mid from Iggy against Lake Titicaca's Orianna.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's right. So, how does that lane generally go, you being the mid expert?
Orianna can sort of farm it from a range with her ball if she needs to, because, I mean, Kale is very, very aggressive, very abusive. She does like to push a lot. So, I mean, it really depends on how Lake Titicaca handles it. If he tries to fight, it may not go well, unless he can do it correctly, but Kale does dish out a lot of damage early on.
sorry, every time you see that name,
It's hilarious.
Stupid grin on my face
I love
every
it.
single time. We'll just have to see how Lake Titicaca handles it. It sounds so ridiculous. I love it.
It's a great name. The names in this game are just, I love them. They're...
And now for everybody's favorite point of the game,
Oh,
we got
man.
ourselves some skin. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, SecurityMetrics bringing them out full stop.
Oh my goodness, these skins. I don't know. Minus points for Blackthorn Morgana. Though.
I agree. I dislike that skin wholeheartedly.
That skin is unfair, Sir Spam, unfair. But otherwise pretty good across the board, I'd say. I like the Stone Chaos Oriana.
I do too. I have it. It's beautiful. Debonair Jace.
Oriana. When do you ever play Oriana?
I used to a lot.
Did you?
Yeah. She's a great mid. She is really good just in this team comp that that Qualcomm has, the Jarvan, the Sona. It's just like there's so much synergy between those champions. If you execute it properly, it's gonna just be terrible, like terror team fights.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just having a look at the jungle Shen. It always seemed to me like he was a very low impact jungler until 6, in which case you pretty much have to be terrified all of the time.
All of the time.
So we'll have to see how that works out. So just getting into the game right now. And ping's going down to the jungles. A little bit of lag happening. I don't know. Can't really see. Okay, there we go. Much better. Okay, so. Starts from both sides. I'm actually surprised. We don't see the massive pot start from too many players here. Oriana spamming health and mana potions.
Yeah.
And a little bit from Iggy on Kale mid, but otherwise we see like actually a Boots pot start bottom lane for Tristana, which is something you really don't see so often anymore.
Yeah, a lot of players do opt for the Doran's Blade start, which is really good for just power and even sustain it brings. You don't necessarily need a long sword and 2 potions because over time a Doran's Blade will give you more health regen. And the Boots, I guess, is a little bit for safety. I don't think he necessarily would need it just because Kog'Maw, Morgana generally wouldn't be a very scary lane early on. So he probably could opt for the Doran's Blade, but I mean, it's just a choice.
Yeah, so having a look here, I mean, it looks as though SecurityMetrics is looking to invade probably. We do see that ward placement around topside from both teams. They really just sort of wanted to make sure that nothing was going on there. And it looks as though Choppers is going to go back, so I guess maybe they may end up deciding against it and just go for early jungle clears.
Yeah, I think they were just scouting out. They want to make sure no funny business was going on. They want to make sure Zarni can get his jungle going on pretty strong early and not have to deal with any aggression, which I really wouldn't expect too much. I mean, Qualcomm's invade isn't that good, aside from the stun from Point Blanket. I wouldn't expect a huge invade. So.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, they've got free vision from Oriana. So I mean, that's I mean, if SecurityMetrics did want to go in, they may have been spotted very early. So just both teams picking up. We're actually seeing a red pick up early from Zarni as opposed to a blue, because Shen obviously doesn't get as much use out of the blue buff as mana dependent junglers do. But gonna grab that red, and we're gonna see if he's gonna try some early aggression with it.
Yep, and all players just getting back to their lanes, starting up the farm, and Bobo the Love Raccoon versus Addy Ender Spot. I'm just gonna say that name every time I can because it's amazing. Top lane is going to be a bit of a poke fest. Both champions having that long edge, short range harass, but I mean, Elise actually can go all in fairly early, but I mean, Jace also has that early game power with just, they both have the kits that they get 6 skills, or 7 skills to use, I guess, technically.
Yeah, they both have that. I was going to say. They both, oh, there's a binding going out. Bobo the Love Raccoon getting caught a little bit. I can't even say it.
It's amazing.
Why do you do this to us, B-League?
We do see Zarni coming up top lane, and Point Blanket is not aware that he's here. There's no ward, so Chops may try and bait this out a little bit.
Yeah, he does have his. He does have 1 point in E though, so he can easily switch to Spider Form and try to dodge anything if absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Zarni, again, he just wants to try to make something happen, but the lane is pushed up a little bit too far for him to go. I was wondering, I mean, maybe if he went around from the Tri-Brush side instead, he might be able to try and get something off, but in the end, it looks like he may just end up backing off.
Yeah, Kakashi now just top lane farming. He could have maybe responded if Zarni had gone in for the gank, but Kakashi's actually half health. It may have been a little bit dangerous for him to go in.
Another binding landing bottom lane on Crazy Moose, and a little bit of harass landing on Bobo with Love Raccoon. Sir Spam is pretty good at landing those dark bindings on Morgana. Really, and a gank going on mid. Zarni being really aggressive, and Iggy, Lake Titicaca, having to blow his flash at about 4 minutes in the game, so now he's going to be pretty vulnerable if Zarni decides to come around again.
Yep, Zarni did come up through this pathway by the Wraiths and come behind Lake Titicaca for that gank, and that is a really scary gank as a mid player, because it's, I mean, if you don't have a lot of mobility, which someone like Orianna doesn't have, especially early on, you can easily take a whole bunch of damage from a gank like that, especially from a jungler that has a lot of hard, or some sort of hard CC.
Top lane, point blank, and Chop's going out. There's the stun landing, and point blank land those last couple auto attacks, and he's, there we go, the first blood going in, flashing out, and avoiding the second turret hit. Point blanket, getting that first blood, really well done. Yeah, and that's that Elise level 3 all-in right that I was talking about. Crazy Moose getting binded bot lane, and Zarni coming in. Gank it from Zarni. Oh, there's the jump out. Bobo the Love Raccoon having to actually flash after his jump, and Crazy Moose and Bobo the Love Raccoon barely escaping. That's even really hard to say when I'm trying to, like, speak really quickly. Too many syllables. Bobo's jump was very, very short. It was almost like a cosmic lane. Kakashi coming in, trying to get something done on Iggy. Does not get the knock up, and we do see the slow and ball going on top, but Iggy was able to get away from Jarvan in time. Yeah, Adiandra's bot lane does need to be a little bit careful. Bobo can jump on him. Him and Crazy Move both have a bunch of bursts that they can drop right on Addy or on a Sir Spam just to get someone dead. They do need to be a little bit careful with that. Oh, another really, really good binding landing on Sir Spam. A little bit of harassment, and Zarni coming around again. They're going to see if they can make something happen, but that ward is just run out, and now Crazy Moose is going to try to, well, he actually is able to reward, so Zarni's going to end up getting seen. Here we go. He comes in. Crazy Moose might get caught out. Adiandra's actually running away as opposed to trying to bait it. Zarni flashes in, lands the taunt on Bubba the Love Raccoon, but no one is there to follow up. Sir Spam going to try to come in and land a binding, but it's going to be too late. Zarni, a little bit of miscommunication, I think, going on there. Unfortunately, Sir Spam tried to throw out a binding, but it hit a minion that was right next to him, so he couldn't get it down onto either Bobo or Crazy Moose, unfortunately. Kakashi actually holding top lane while Point Blanket goes to buy, spending that money that he got from the kill. I think what could have happened bottom lane, had Adiandras tried to bait it out a little bit more, Bobo the Love Raccoon and Crazy Moose would have probably gone a little bit more aggressive. Zarni would have shown up. They may have been able to pick up a kill from it. Yeah, Bobo is out of potions, so he won't have any more sustain. He's got no lifesteal from what he would have if he'd gotten a Doran's Blade. Mid lane, nothing really interesting happening. Both champions just farming up. Iggy being a little bit more aggressive, got a little bit more health, but Lake Titicaca and Iggy are both level 6, so we could see an ultimate battle right there. Yep, we're seeing a little bit of farm disparity actually going on. Bobo picking up it's got about 10 more CS than Adiandras this early in the game, and I mean, if he keeps it up, a farm, oh, here we go, Gang's coming on, Point Blanket coming in, landing the stun on Chops, so much burst going down. Is Chops going to be able to get out with the help of his gate, and he will, and is able to actually fire off a shock blast, bringing Kakashi really, really low. Yeah, and that was a really aggressive attack from Point Blanket. Oh, throwing out that spider, trying to get Chops, but doesn't go quite far enough. Bobo and Crazy was pushing bottom pretty aggressively. They know that top lane's pushing hard, so they're expecting Zarni might have to put a little bit of pressure there. They don't want Point Blanket to take that turret so early, so bot lane can be a bit more aggressive for Qualcomm. Yep, and I mean, they do have it warded, so they're going to see a gang coming if, you know, they're oh my goodness, Adiandra's actually really, really low. That harassed from Crazy Moose, and I think once Crazy Moose hits 6, they may be in serious danger of getting dove and dying, especially if they hit 6 before Sir Spam does. You can see it in Bobo's eyes. He wants that kill, but we do see Iggy coming down bot lane. There is a ward that he's going to run into, so they are going to spot him coming down. I don't know if this is a really good way to relieve the pressure, though, and I mean, they obviously saw that coming. They backed off a little bit, but not enough. They know that Iggy came down. I'm pretty sure Iggy knows he's been seen, so he's going to back off as well. But I mean, that's enough to relieve a little bit of a pressure, allow for Adiandras to go back, pick up some items, and heal up and head back. Yep, absolutely. And Titicaca grabbing his blue buff right there. That's going to be really nice for Orianna. It's one of the best things for someone who spams spells like Orianna. You just get to push lane. You get to be a bit safer, especially against someone like Kale, who can be very aggressive. It just gives you a little bit of security, unless, I mean, it's the worst feeling in the world when you get it and then you just die to a gank. It's like, oh, okay, you guys got it now. Yeah, pretty much. Orianna's one of those characters that, honestly, when she gets a blue buff, I hate my life. Yeah. It's horrible, because, I mean, the ball spam, obviously, you know, can be pretty damaging, and it's honestly, you know, if done well, it's pretty unavoidable, but you know, when she can do it with free reign, free mana essentially, it's brutal because there's almost nothing you can do. So I want to really see how Iggy deals with this with a blue buff of his own.
Oh, Crazy Move getting caught trying to go back. Adiandra's pursuing this hard. Oh, he may actually get this.
Just need another. There's the flash and just missing that final one. Can he get another one off? I don't think so. Living Artillery does not have the range at level 6 quite as soon, and you have to be really, really careful as a support if your AD goes back and you don't back with him for just that reason.
Yep, and that is really unfortunate because that completely shuts out any warning or any danger of a flash crescendo from Crazy Moose. So that's going to be a little bit of security for Sir Spam and Adiandra's bottom.
Yeah, it may allow them to catch up and farm a little bit. Missing a Shock Blast top. Chops is going to go in on Point Blanket. Point Blanket going to try to turn that around with a stun, but misses, hits a minion instead, and so the harass in CS will probably just continue in its minified state. Bottom lane coming down, Iggy is going to try and head up into the jungle and see if they can dive the turret a little bit. With that Kale ultimate, it's definitely possible, especially considering Boba the Love Raccoon is there all by himself now. Sir Spam going in, and oh my goodness, the jump is not going to be enough. The stun going to land from Sir Spam, and Iggy is going to pick up that kill.
So much damage. Yeah, Zarni there just for the security. They could actually take this turret down. They're going to. This is a very, very early turret for SecurityMetrics. That's going to be a lot of map presence for them, but I mean, Point Blanket is still doing very well top lane, but Chops is doing a great job of keeping up in CS.
Yeah, I'm not sure taking the turret was the right call here because again the farm is pretty decent for Adiandra's bottom. I was thinking maybe a dragon attempt would have been a little better, and now this is going to give Qualcomm enough time to sort of react to the possible dragon attempt. And here they go, they're coming down. Kakashi's coming down here, and I don't think Boba Love Raccoon's going to get over there in time. It'll be a 3v4 if they try to fight it. And, I mean, Crescendo is up, so they might be able to handle it, especially since Sarni's pretty low health. Here we go. Kakashi going in, landing that ultimate on 3 members of the enemy team, and Kakashi getting that kill on Zarni, having to flash out, and there 2 kills. Crazy Moose picking one up, and this ended up going really, really well. Iggy does not have his ultimate. They're going to try and turn this definitely around. Iggy having to flash out. Wow, that 3v4, considering all the ultimates were blown on that 1 kill on Boba the Love Raccoon, Qualcomm played that very, very well.
Yep, that was great presence of mind from Qualcomm. They knew that SecurityMetrics had blown a whole bunch of ults just to kill Bobo. And on top of that, the 3 members that were there for Qualcomm were the 3 AoE ultimates, and they landed them really, really well. Lake Titicaca waited perfectly for Kakashi to go in with that, oh, what's it called?
Cataclysm.
Cataclysm, thank you. And use the command shockwave just to pull everyone back in. It was really well executed.
See, this is, I think, SecurityMetrics is going to have a bit of a problem here because now that they've pushed the turret, Boba the Love Raccoon is going to be able to farm a lot more safely. And again, I think Dragon would have been the right call rather than picking up the turret. It's going to be a little bit harder for Adiandras to farm bottom lane now if he's going to be pushed up really far.
Yeah, Point Blanket pushing very hard top lane, making sure that his presence is known up there. But we do see SecurityMetrics swing over into mid. And this is really what you do. If you take the bot lane that early, you swing over to mid. You try and get more turrets, more objectives. And, oh, Iggy taking tower aggro right there. He's got to be careful. Are you there?
Yeah, oh, I'm here. Sorry, I was going to say that point. I was going to say the video was lagging a little bit. I just wanted to make sure everything was going okay. But it is, so... Anyway, back into the game. It looks as though they're going to roll down to bottom lane. I wonder if they're going to try to make that sort of dragon attempt happen again, or if they're just going to try and protect. No, they're going to actually... that wave of farm bottom lane, Adiandras does not want to miss it, considering he's now fallen a little far behind Boba Love Raccoon, who's got 14 CS on him, and is going to go back, pick up a few items. Gank attempt on Iggy going on mid. That ultimate going down, but Iggy with the black shield did not affect him at all. The Shen ultimate coming in. Zarni just as sort of a safety precaution coming in just to try to prevent that. But again, Black Shield doing a great job of preventing Iggy from going down. Yeah, that is something you really do have to be aware of. And Sir Spam is able to get out just barely, almost letting the stun on Kakashi, but was not able to. A fantastic 3-person taunt from Zarni. And I mean, Sir Spam's really got to be careful to flash in from Boba the Love Raccoon, but he gets a little bit too close. The diving going on, the binding landing on Kakashi, eating so many tower hits. They really have to back off right now. Qualcomm tried to make it happen. They couldn't. They need to just take the turret and they need to back off and not dive. Very aggressive engages from both teams. Zarni's taunt on 3 people, that was a great way to save both Sir Spam and Iggy, but unfortunately that is still going to be the turret for Qualcomm, and they're going to swing over and try and take this dragon right now. And I mean, this would be a very, very good time to do so because a lot of the AoE ultimates are down. Sir Spam does not have his ultimate. I believe Iggy doesn't have his ultimate. There's not a whole lot that SecurityMetrics is going to be able to do about that. Adiandras at full health. I mean, him on... Oh, hello? Oh, I just lost you, Wave. I don't know if you... No real ultimates to speak of. Oh, you lagged a little bit there. You alright? Oh, sorry about that.
No worries,
Yep,
you're good. Nothing really big happened anyway, just like Titicaca grabbing his blue buff instead. Crazy Moose's Crescendo is still up, and SecurityMetrics going to push this mid lane. They're going to get it fairly low because Qualcomm is all out of position.
Oh my goodness, they're all pushing mid now. We're going to see SecurityMetrics trying to take this turret down mid. And can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Are we lagging? Oh, okay. I was going to say they're trying to take this turret down, but again, Qualcomm getting there just in time. So we're going to see a lot of that aggression of binding just barely being dodged by Bobo the Love Raccoon. I think we're going to see, there we go, Hatake Kakashi going right in, trying to get something out. The exhaust going down on him. Lake Titicaca throwing the ball over, trying to prepare for an ultimate. The cooldown just coming up right now. So now I think SecurityMetrics needs to be a little bit more careful. If Kakashi is able to go in on there again, they're going to get that double ultimate.
Yep, Kakashi's Cataclysm did just come up as well. It was really, really good aggression there. He did draw the exhaust from Sir Spam, and now Qualcomm can go swing down to this dragon. And there is a ward here from SecurityMetrics, so they do spot it, but all the AoE ultimates are up from Qualcomm. This could be dangerous for SecurityMetrics.
Zarni going to go in and try to maybe get a steal off of it. Is he going to get it? Oh, he is not able to get the ultimate going off. There's the AoE stun from Crescendo. Zarni taunting Kakashi, but there's an ultimate, and everything is already blown. I think Adi Andrus and oh my goodness, they're both going to go down. Zarni and
no.
I wonder if Kakashi is going to go down here. Yes! Is able to get that revenge kill. So 2 for 1 and a dragon, but so that's definitely in favor of Qualcomm.
Yeah, absolutely. And that composition was just so difficult for SecurityMetrics to escape. Even if you got out of the command shockwave, then you have a Crescendo coming in your face, and then finally Cataclysm slams down and traps you all inside the circle. It is a terrifying composition that Qualcomm has.
Yep. And I mean, there's just something so satisfying about watching all those AoE ultimates being used in concert. It's really fantastic to see that level of coordination. Really, really well done by Qualcomm.
Oh, in concert. I see what you did there.
I missed such a damn. On attempts. Apparently, though, and I don't know if you've been noticing, but apparently LCS has picked up.
Yes, they have.
Punning like crazy, so now I feel like if I do it, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh well."
You're just copying them.
Yeah, you're just copying freak, and yeah.
Oh well. Or SecurityMetrics rather coming up top lane. They are going to be able to get this tower more than likely. It is about half health, and we have Chops and Adi Andrus. They're both gonna do a whole bunch of damage to it. I don't think. Yeah, Sir Spam's up here as well. Kakashi wants to save it, but there's a ward in that bush.
Yeah, this is a 5-man push top lane. There is nothing that Qualcomm's going to be able to do about saving this turret. They're going to try to maybe get something off. Point Blank needs to be real careful not to go in, though, because, I mean, if he gets engaged on, that's it for him. It's 5v1.5. Oh, the flash in for Miggy. Going to try to make something out of the counter flash from Point Blank, and he's going to try to get out of there. There's the taunt landing, but Point Blank is dodging it, and now they're going to go in on Zarni. The ultimate coming down. Did I just see the Oriental?
Yes, Command Shockwave again blocked by the Black Shield.
I was going to say, I was like, what happened to it? It didn't seem to do anything. Oh, a stun landing on Iggy. Really well shot by Point Blank. They're going to try and disengage with Hatake Kakashi getting bound by Sir Spam. And now they're going to try to disengage with the help of that gate and doing a really good job of disengaging here.
And that whole time, Bobo was just trying to waddle up to join the fight. Yeah, he's like, hey guys, I'm coming.
Well, I was going to say, I'm a little surprised Qualcomm let them go so easily. Oh, look at this. Crazy Moose might get caught. Adi Endress going to try and go in. Crazy Moose taking a whole bunch of jams. The binding landing. I got to say, really, really great bindings. Point Blank, and again, having to dodge here. There's the Crescendo going down. Crazy Moose picking up another kill. And look at all this AoE. Bobo the Love Raccoon actually blasting everybody out of the Jarvan ultimate. I'm not sure if he meant to do that, but it did certainly help SecurityMetrics escape from what could have been a very, very bad fight for them.
Good guy Bobo. He was like, you know what, we got one kill. That's all we wanted. And just shoots everyone else away. But did you notice Crazy was actually grabbing that kill on Iggy with the Crescendo?
I was going to say, to be fair, it was a really, like, the timing was good on the Crescendo, I think.
It was just a lot of burst.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to grab the kill necessarily, but Sir Spam coming up, trying to land those good bindings again. And looking at those SecurityMetrics, not ready to give up just yet, despite the fact that they are behind right now. They're actually, the score is about 3.5K in favor of Qualcomm right now. Oh, Boba the Love Raccoon jumping in right now. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you want to do as a Tristana, but it does help Kakashi get in there trying to land some harass on Zarni. Adi Anders actually able to pick up a kill in Point Blank, and Adi Anders really, really low right now, though. Chopper's going to try to slow him down, get the kill on Crazy Moose. Titicaca getting bound, and now Choppers is alone in a sea of red players here, and down goes Chops.
Oh wow, that was Bobo just initiating that man mode, going in, jumping, and grabbing Chops and Zarni in with the for his own team rather.
Yeah, he had barrier, I guess. I mean, he knew what he was doing. Generally, as Tristana, you really want to be worried about superior positioning, but he said, you know, to hell with that. We got an AoE comp. We got some beefy players. I'm going to go in and force my team to fight, and that's exactly what he did. It was a good call.
Yep, Titicacca's ultimate had just come back up, so they were ready to fight, and SecurityMetrics just barely getting caught out, and unfortunately losing Chops and Zarni in the process. This mid turret still a little less than half health, but it doesn't look like Iggy wants to push that by himself, not knowing where the rest of the team is.
No, I'm pretty sure Iggy and Sir Spam probably could have taken out that turret, being pretty low at the time. Generally, that's, I mean, you want to try to take what we were talking about, I think the last time we cast the game, those sort of counter objectives when you just sort of lose a fight and you know that the enemy team has to go back and heal and sort of recover from their one fight. You can go and you can choose to take an objective to try to sort of bring yourself back.
Yeah, it's not even just about counter objectives, it's just grabbing objectives in general. If you know the team has to go back, you can grab something quick, or even just put some damage on it for future use, just because you know they're out of position and you can take advantage of that.
Yep, so looking to recover now from a little bit of a gold deficit. They're going to try and begin the poke where AHGL going to try and harass as many people as he can. Got to be real careful from point blank going in on him, but in comes Iggy, and so he is probably going to be safe to harass a little bit. I think this is the kind of game that SecurityMetrics needs to play. This is what they need to start doing. They need to start harassing at the turret because they've got really good poke, but of course they've got to worry about being engaged upon by Kakashi.
Point blank using his repel, but I'm not quite sure why. I don't know what he was trying to avoid. He is fairly tanky. He's almost got that Warmogs already. He's got a Chalice. He's built a cloth armor as well. Looks like Dragon rather may be coming up very soon.
I can have a timer in just a second. It looks like it will be coming up in about 30 seconds, so I don't know if they're just sort of going to try and wait and bait this out. We do see an Oracle from Kakashi, and they're not really looking. Again, Boba the Love Raccoon going to jump in aggressively against Sir Spam, and there, the ultimate going down, but Sir Spam is able to flash out, and so the engagement does fail. Kakashi eating a little bit of turret harass there. They're very, very aggressive, this Qualcomm. Point blank going in 2v1 on top of Zarni and Iggy. They're so insanely aggressive. This is ridiculous. And there's the AoE ultimates. Oh my goodness, just exploding, Iggy going down, and that's the kill they were looking to get. I guess that hardcore aggression really paying off for Qualcomm.
Yeah, this composition works for them perfectly with that kind of strategy, just because not only did they see that AHGL is top lane, so it was a 4v5 in Qualcomm's favor, but they know that as long as they can keep pushing, keep being aggressive, they know eventually they will get that initiation they want. They will get Kakashi jumping in with the Cataclysm. They will get Titicacca's command Shockwave to just blast and hit at least 2 people, and that's exactly what they want.
Yep, and it's again working out really, really well for them. See, I think now, like, I mean, sort of I guess a somewhat decent push top lane. I think AHGL just really needed to be with his team right there, but I mean, I think SecurityMetrics, like, they're so low right now, they need to go back and heal. That was the perfect time for them to go, and they could have tried to, you know, had they gone back and healed already, they could have tried to go pick up a dragon off of the back of, you know, a little bit of that loss, but... Yeah,
we do see Chops and Iggy thinking just that. They want to swing down. They can take it fairly quickly, but it is warded up. Qualcomm is aware of this. Oh, but SecurityMetrics sees Crazy Moose. They want to prevent that Sono Crescendo. Oh, but it's still down.
Yeah, I was going to say, so we do have Zarni coming back right now, and he does have his ultimate up, so I want to see if they're going to try and bait this. A little bit of poke going down, and there, the binding landing. Are they going to be able to take out Boba the Love Raccoon before he jumps out? And look at that, getting knocked out. AHGL picking up that kill. That's exactly what SecurityMetrics needed. They need to try and see if they can force a dragon fight right now.
Yep, that was perfect grabbing him out. That is a whole bunch of damage. I mean, you never want to lose your AD carry like that at any stage of the game. I do think that SecurityMetrics could take this dragon. They do. I mean, Kog'Maw does do dragon very quickly. He's a very strong AD carry just in general, and they are going to keep poking, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really seeing the use of Shen to split push as normally you often do. This is where we'd probably see Zarni be in the top lane, just, you know, endlessly pushing that top turret while the rest of his team does whatever they want, and if he needs to come in, he can always come in with the use of his ultimate. Oh, they're trying to dodge that binding. I'm not really sure what's necessary. Point blank coming in because he was not able to jump to anything, having to flash out over the wall, and look at those barrages coming down from AHGL, really just relentlessly poking. Now they really need to just turn around, pick up this dragon, and go back and buy something. This
is going to be dangerous for SecurityMetrics. Bobo is up. Oh, they might just be baiting it, getting a whole bunch of poke down onto Qualcomm's team. But they do need to be careful because everyone with the AoE ultimates for Qualcomm does have their...
Look at AHGL, look at him. He's just single-handedly trying to chase the entirety of Qualcomm away. They just need to go take the dragon and go back.
Hey, man, he's a scary little caterpillar. No one wants to fight that.
I don't know. If I ran into that in the dark alley, I'd be pretty scared too.
But yeah, Qualcomm actually having that dragon taken out from under them, just being scared by AHGL. They could have gone in on him. I really do think that Qualcomm could have gone in. All of their AoE Ultimate champions were healthy. They were fine. Their cooldowns were down, or were up rather. They could have engaged on that just fine.
Well, in any case, they were able to. SecurityMetrics was able to pick up that dragon. Now we're going to see a little bit of a push from Zarni bottom. He does still have that ultimate up. No major items yet for AHGL, while Bobo the Love Raccoon has picked up a Blade of the Ruined King before he's able to pick up a major AD item. So that's pretty good. Again, we discussed it does sort of help with that Tristana early to mid game weakness.
Yep. And
oh, go ahead.
Oh, we see a dive. Sorry, no, I was going to alert you.
I don't know. This is going to go. AHGL trying to get as much damage on Bobo Lover. Oh, in comes Chops from the side with a shock blast, but AHGL does pick up that kill in the end eventually. And Point Blanket getting ignited, going to try to run away as fast as he can, but they're looking to chase him down. Chops needs to lay down that gate. And there's another shock blast going through. Are they going to be able to catch up? The flash in for Miggy, but gets stunned by Point Blanket, and so they are able to disengage. Really, really well played by Point Blanket and Titicaca.
Yes, beautiful stun by Point Blanket, but that right there just shows you how effective the Protect the Cogmaw comp is. AHGL was caught by Bobo and Point Blanket. Yeah, and just having his own barrier, having the Shen ultimate, and having Iggy's ultimate as well, just completely protecting him. He's able to make it out alive, and he does have that Infinity Edge now. You were just saying he has no major items. Well, now he does.
Point Blanket using his repel a little bit early there. I was going to say, you need to be really careful when you make use of that thing, because it is your one escape, as at least if your flash is down. And using a little bit early, allowing SecurityMetrics to go in, take him out, and now take down a turret because of it. And now begins the poke war that SecurityMetrics has been hoping for this whole time.
Yeah, and we do see Zarni actually bot lane, but he doesn't have his ultimate. That's an odd choice to go bot lane right now, but there is a lot of poke from SecurityMetrics. They're just going to siege up this turret. They do need to be careful, though, from the hard engage that Qualcomm does have.
Yeah, Qualcomm, I mean, they're still ahead in gold, but it does seem as though they've, that sort of, you know, moral advantage they've been having, some morale advantage, sorry, that they've been having up until this point. AHGL's so aggressive. Just anytime he sees a champion, he just goes for him. This is crazy. Oh my goodness, they're catching out crazy moves, and we're actually going to see a pause, looking as though Kakashi saying he's getting mad lag.
Mad lag.
We do not want any mad lag to be going on. We want all of our players to have a sort of a fair
happy
chance.
Lag. We want a happy lag.
No, that was bad. No, that was bad.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Good. You better. You better apologize. Anyway, so I've never
seen a Cogmaw that aggressive.
He's so but it's not even. I was gonna say Bobo's also like, they're really, really aggressive AD characters. Like, sorry, not really, really aggressive AD players on characters that you would normally not be so aggressive on. Both Cogmaw and Tristana, you know, long-range AD carries, able to sit back, you know, while the rest of their team is up in front in the enemy's face. They can sit back and auto-attack their heart's content. Instead, perfectly content to go in, jumping in, auto-attacking, you know, the first person they see. And I mean, it seems to be working out for them both ways.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see how it comes late game, because by that time, they're really not going to be able to walk up to a whole 5-member team safely like that, unless, I mean, the other team just doesn't attack them in fear that maybe the rest of the team is following up. But we'll have to see how Bobo and Addy both just position in these fights, because if one of them gets caught out, they're both really strong late-game carries, so if one gets caught and killed, that's going to be a really, really strong fight for the other team.
Yeah. Certainly so, and I mean, that's one thing we have been seeing, like Bobo and Addy, because of how aggressive they've been playing, they have been getting caught a little more than you normally would see from an AD carry. So again, once that late game comes around, they're really going to have to be more careful. No one from SecurityMetrics really wants to see AHGL get caught out by that AoE hell comp of Qualcomm. Yeah,
and it is, and having Kakashi lagging really does hurt that AoE comp, because he is their main initiation. He is the one who's going to be jumping in at the right time, and here we have Kakashi back. Hopefully his lag is done. We can get right back into this. It does look like SecurityMetrics is in a good position to at least do a whole bunch more damage to this mid turret, and even swing up to the top turret. You see a huge lane, or huge wave rather, pushing. That's going to be some good, you know, position just for SecurityMetrics to go up and do some damage to that turret as well.
Yep, and I mean, Zarni bottom lane laying the pressure on that bottom turret has forced Point Blanket to go down there and deal with him. So, I mean, they are essentially in a very good position to take out of that mid or that top turret, like you said. Gameplay just getting up right now, and we're going to see what is SecurityMetrics going to do right now.
No, Addy rather is just going to keep poking, get some damage. Look how much damage he does to that turret. In just a few hits, it's down to half health. And yeah, this huge wave pushing. That turret is barely touched, but it looks like SecurityMetrics wants to do it.
Yep, they're going to try and catch Qualcomm out of position here, see if they can get this turret down before Qualcomm can get up there, and it certainly looks as though they're going to get a whole bunch of damage down before anyone can get there. They're going to get down to at least half. Oh, the binding missing anyone. Kakashi looking as though he's ready to go in. Here we go. Are we going to see that Cataclysm? No, he opts not to use it. The ball was already positioned on him, ready to get that double ultimate, but he chose wisely, in my opinion, there. He would have only been able to pick up probably chops with it. Oh my goodness, Bobo getting poked like crazy, getting hit by a binding. Bobo's really got to be careful not. Oh, look at this! Iggy trying to come around the back and get a snipe off. This looks like it may be the end of the turret here, because I don't think Qualcomm is focused on protecting the turret here.
Titicaca grabbed by that binding, and Chops goes in on it and backs right off. He does not want to overcommit against this AoE team.
No, and I mean, this is really in a tough position right now, Qualcomm. I mean, they're so far ahead, but now it looks like SecurityMetrics has really hit their stride.
Yep, and this is really a poke disengage comp is exactly what you like against an AoE comp, an AoE hard engage comp. Just because if you can poke them down, then you win the fights when they come in, and that's going to be a turret Point Blanket poking down a bit. Kakashi wants to go in. Oh, this turret is very, very low, and we do see bot lane that Zarni that whole time is just pushing.
Yep, and I mean, again, Point Blanket was really just forced to come up, because part of the reason they can dive so well, Qualcomm, I mean, is because of Point Blanket. And you know, you can get right up there in someone's face, land that stun. But I mean, the presence of Zarni in the bottom lane was preventing Point Blanket from doing so. Point Blanket is essentially just saying, you know what, no, my team needs so much help. I gotta go up there and help them. I don't want to lose an inhibitor turret.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chops is just going to keep poking mid lane. It does look like Qualcomm wants to come down. Oh, this turret's gone. The second turret's gone too, so they're just trying to get some more pressure going on. Crazy Moose does not have a ping, so he's just going to toss a green right on Baron. But SecurityMetrics is aware of that, so they're going to go out and clear that once they have the opportunity.
Yeah, but having a look at the items right now, we do see Adiendris has now picked up an Infinity Edge, so that damage he's going to dish out going to be absolutely massive, as well as the Muramana from Chops. I mean, there's going to be a lot of range damage going on. Of course, Iggy having that needlessly large rod and Asher's Tooth, going to have that AoE magic damage going on once his range increase goes on from Righteous Fury. It's going to be absolutely crazy poke damage that Qualcomm's going to have to deal with right now.
Yeah, and if Qualcomm really wants to win these fights, they need to hard engage long before they get poked down by both Chops and Adiendris, and even getting hit by bindings from Sir Spam. That is what has to happen for Qualcomm if they want to win these fights.
Yeah, definitely so. They need to remember what was working for them early in the game and continue with it, because we've sort of seen a marked decrease of good engages as the game has gone on.
Yeah, and it is... Oh, Adiendris is walking right into this bush. He does... Oh, Crazy Moose does see him, but he's Adiendris.
Steal this right. Oh, look, the ultimate going down on Kakashi, and now there's the protect. A little bit early on the Kale up, though, but Sir Spam does go down. Bobo the Love Raccoon actually able to take him out from the top, who's a little bit out of position, and now they're going to try and engage here, because it is going to be a 5v4. Zarni getting caught with the taunt, and now Kakashi's getting really, really low. The ultimate landing on Zarni and only Iggy. Kakashi's so low, using that. There's another kill for Crazy Moose. They're going to chase this down. Titicaca Zarni's so unbelievably low. Point Blanket going to chase down Iggy. Zarni does go down above the Love Raccoon. Iggy and Point Blanket going at it. Iggy flashing away from Point Blanket behind him, and the only person there, Kakashi, left to sort of protect the base here from just Iggy's the only one left alive. He's not going to be able to do anything. That was an amazing, that's exactly what was needed from Qualcomm.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what I was saying, is that those hard engages, and I mean, Adiendris did go overextend a little bit too much, and Sir Spam got caught out and did die before the fight even happened, but if these three players are not going to be able to take Baron.
This may be a very iffy Baron attempt. They're a little bit too squishy to take the Baron damage. Good idea, but I mean, they didn't have the tankiness they needed. They were not going to be able to sort of switch aggro back and forth for enough time for Bobo to be able to take out the Baron.
Yep, and Iggy going down to farm these raids. Dragon did just come up, and the bot lane for SecurityMetrics is pushing, and we do see Sir Spam clear out that pink ward from Qualcomm on Baron. They know... Oh no, the Qualcomm is pinging this ward in the banana bush right here. They just want to make sure that that vision is kept up, and Bobo actually going down to clear bottom. That wave was huge. He does not want to miss out on that CS at all.
Yeah, I think again, it's really going to come down to those initiations. Adi Endris really getting caught that last time. Thought he was going to be able to take out Kakashi, or steal that red before anything happened to him, and essentially he thought wrong. Sir Spam got caught out by Bobo the Love Raccoon, able to get taken out, and I mean, they are able to pick up this dragon, so this is going to be good for them. Are they going to try and engage on this? No, they're just going to try and poke him out. Again, I think that SecurityMetrics right now, they need to start off this poking war again. Adi Endris really needs to learn to stay in the back.
Right, and what Adi Endris just can't go wandering into the jungle again, because being a Kog'Maw, you have no escapes, you've got nothing to really protect you. SecurityMetrics was doing so well when they were just on the turrets, poking this down. Oh, we do see a little bit of a base race.
Mini base race? I don't think we're going to see this till the end. Maybe they'll just trade inhibitors or something like that.
Well,
but
SecurityMetrics is going to take out this turret, and certainly the inhibitor. I don't know which team is going to... I mean, this is like a game of chicken.
I think has the stronger damage. Like, they're going to be able to take out a turret much faster than Qualcomm does. And so they've got the inhibitor before. There we go. The inhibitor going down, and now, just now, the turret going down. No, this might be the full-on base race. Oh my goodness, there's one Nexus turret going down. Point Blank is going to come in and try to land something up. The taunt going down on Sarni. Point Blank is going to absolutely explode to damage before anything happens. And I think this may end up being the win for SecurityMetrics. It is. Crazy Moose rushing in with those boots, and here comes the final damage to the Nexus. The binding landing on Crazy Moose. Lake Titicaca landed. Amazing ultimate. Oh, the AoE ultimate.
Oh,
no! Oh my goodness. The timing on that was absolutely crazy. I thought those AoE ultimates were going to be enough to stop them right at the end.
So did I.
That into crescendo combo was nuts.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Game 1 of the finals for the B-League comes down to a base race in favor of SecurityMetrics. Wow. Well played.
I was not expecting that in the slightest. Crazy Moose carrying the game for his team was not able to carry hard enough. 4-0-8 Sona.
Gotta love those carry Sonas. Alright, we will be back very shortly for Game 2 between these teams.